What's good, doers? You already know what it is. You know what it is. It's your boy, 8God. We haven't done this in a minute, but we're just going to bring it back real quick.
Not for cause, nigga. Just if Kingmil gets famous, y'all niggas not gonna be with Kingmil once he gets famous, bro. Understand that.
Basically, after the whole Drake and Kendrick situation, police are at Drake's house because somebody shot his security guard. Know what I mean? A lot of people are speculating that has something to do with Kendrick Lamar. Could be not. It definitely doesn't have anything to do with Kendrick Lamar directly. You know what I'm saying? We know rappers don't get down and dirty. You know, people do their dirty work for them. Let's see what they're talking about here on the news.
Police were called to a shooting at the residence behind me here. When officers arrived, they located a male who was suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. That male was taken to hospital in serious condition.
Taken to hospital.
That person was working, apparently, as a security guard at the residence. He was standing outside of the gates in front of the residence when the shooting occurred. We have individuals who obviously performed the shooting who were seen in a vehicle. I do not have a description of the vehicle or the suspects at this time.
How do you not have a description of a vehicle? Like, this was some hitman mob shit. Like, this is just a naked car. It had to just be some sort of a naked car. Stripped of all the emblems, donuts on that. Know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. No description of the vehicle. You can't make it out to be a Chevy, a Ford, and like no Mercedes Benz, Kia. You can't make the model at all. Like, somebody shot a security guard at a high profile celebrity house, and we can't get a make or model of the vehicle. Sheesh. Bam. Mob ties. Talk about it.
Again, it's very early on in the investigation. I cannot speak to a motive at this time because it's so early, but as we get information, we will share it with you. Anyone with information is asked to call 416-808-2510 or Crime Stoppers. You can expect to see an increased presence in this neighborhood for the next little while, but it's no different than any other shooting or firearm discharge. We'll have officers here looking for witnesses to come forward, as well as we canvassing for video. I'll now take a few questions.
Was Drake home, and is he cooperating with this investigation?
I cannot confirm if Drake was home at the time the incident occurred, but I can tell you that we are in contact with his team and they are cooperating.
To what extent?
Do this make Drake a rat, or do this make his team a rat? You know, it's definitely not. You know, does Drake give the green light to his team to, you know, press charges and find out who's looking for who's behind all this? You know what I'm saying? Is that any sort of cooperation with the police? You know, is that enough for you guys to claim he a rat or some shit? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I personally don't think this. I don't believe so. But I want to see what y'all dumbass crash outs think in the comments.
Is the rat beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar part of the investigation focus?
So
They just asked if this shit's about Drake and Kendrick.
I am aware of what you're talking about, but it is so early in the investigation that
That's how big this beef is, bro. This guy's kids are probably at home talking about, Dad, what do you think? Drake or Kendrick? Like, this beef glitched the meta, bro. No cap. See what they talking about.
we don't have a motive at this time, and so I cannot comment further on that.
While the motive may not be confirmed, if that is something that you're looking at, knowing that this beef crosses borders into the U.S., is there anything being done in the investigation to maybe prevent a potential suspect from leaving Canada?
So this is no different than any other investigation, okay? Like, it's maybe more high profile because there's more people here, but we treat it like any other incident. So we'll be using all our resources. Our teams will be doing as much as they can to investigate this, but it'll be no different than any other investigation at this time.
The man who was shot still in serious condition. Have you been able to talk to him? Has he not been able to give you a suspect description? And how is there no video yet of the car that fled?
So I can tell you that all I'm going to say about the victim is that he's still in the hospital in serious condition. And I'm not going to just No, I'm not going to at this time.
This is obviously a very well-to-do neighborhood. There's likely a lot of video around. Have you guys begun your canvassing? Do you expect to get a good amount of video involved with this?
I would be surprised if we didn't. I can say that we've already collected some video evidence which captures the incident.
You said suspects plural. Can you say, are we talking 2, 3, or more?
No idea at this time.
And would you characterize this as a drive-by shooting, or more specifically, a stop and open fire?
I'm not going to get into specifics about the investigation at this time, just that a vehicle was involved and then fled the scene.
Look, so we all now know that, you know, security guard at Drake's house was shot in critical condition. I'm assuming that he's good now. You know, God bless, God willing, you know, full recovery and all that. But this is nasty because this is Drake, right? And this follows up after Kendrick Lamar uses Drake's house as his cover art for Not Like Us, you know? And it's not like we all haven't seen Drake's house. It's not like we all, you know what I mean? You can't go on the internet and look up Drake's house, but it's like there's somebody out there, there's a crash out there who doesn't know where Drake's house is. You know what I mean? They don't know the address. And now that it's all out there, like, yo, Not Like Us came out less than a week ago almost, you know, and not too long after that, somebody is at Drake's house harming his security, and you know what I mean, to an extent, his family and shit. He could have possibly been home. They probably did this while he was home, or you never know, you know. But the way you could tell they did, the people who did this, you could tell the people who did this definitely knew what they were doing. The fact that they have not been identified yet, not caught, can't even make the model out of the car. In a high profile neighborhood, it's either that neighborhood is lacking because apparently it's not a gated community. It is a very high profile community, but it's not a gated community or something like that somewhere. So anybody could kind of get in, but Drake's house is strategically built with walls and, you know, trees and all this other stuff. And whoever was coming at Drake or to his residence, somebody definitely was like, I don't care what you got to do. Something got to get hit. Like, we got to leave a message some way, somehow. A security guard was shot multiple times outside of the home of Amir Cash Ismailian, the Weeknd's manager. There are 3 suspects involved in the crime. At least 4 people were inside the home at the time of the shooting. Does this sound familiar? They going security guard for security guard at this point. But I don't, you know, I think a lot of people are, it's kind of flying over people's heads. Possibly. Not saying that this is directly who it could be, but we do know that Drake and The Weeknd are at it right now. The Weeknd did chime into the feud. You know, he basically dropped the collab album with Future. Now they're going security guard for security guard. So hopefully things don't escalate and more and innocent people, you know, don't get involved in this internet rap beef that record labels are profiting off of. And then not only that, fake news pops up. I want to talk about this too. I want parts of this fake news too. Currently waiting for proof. Take with grain of salt until then. From an insider. Waiting on proof in the form of documents. Will update whenever I receive it. PG Lang, Kendrick Lamar, and XL, The Weeknd, as of yesterday, were asked by Universal Music Group, UMG, to end the beef with OVO Drake. Kendrick apparently isn't budging at all, but UMG is pressing hard on their request to squash the beef. UMG also had a Zoom meeting with all of the parties involved, and they want Kendrick either directly or said through PG Lang to post a statement clarifying that Drake isn't a pedo if Kendrick agrees to end the beef. Drake is losing the beef in UMG's eyes, so from UMG's perspective, the sooner that this beef ends, the better. The pedo accusations directed at Drake are costing UMG, Nike, and other parties a lot of money. UMG already said that they had nothing to do with this, and the culture should already know that the label don't got nothing to do with this. They're just fortunate enough to be behind it and profiting off of it. Respectfully, and allowing us to profit off of it. Because shout out to the record labels as well. You know, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But you got to think about it. Drake won the battle musically. Kendrick won the battle strategically / mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drake definitely beat Kendrick up, but Kendrick poked the shit out of him in the fight. And now Drake's leaking. You know what I mean? And you got to patch these wounds up. And if this is true, they're saying Kendrick got to patch the wounds up. Drake is a brand, you know, $400 million from Universal. And you got to think about that. $400 million, Nike deals, brand, all types of brand deals, a candle deal, a candle company that he starts, and all this other stuff. Drake's name is, you know, a high ticket. And there are a lot of people and companies invested in that and making sure that Drake's name remains a high ticket. If the culture starts to look at you like a pedo, you know, nobody want to take you serious no more. That's dangerous, you know. Nobody want to invest in that. And if what Kendrick Lamar is saying is to be false, then yo, that's to an extent, you know, you could put down defamation of character or some weird. But the second Drake takes it to that extent, he loses the battle even more. Like the more he has to fight legally to win, the more it seems like he's losing the battle to the culture, especially since Kendrick Lamar exposed him as not being a black man. No matter what, the black people are just going to side with Kendrick Lamar. And there are more black people in hip hop than there are white people caring about this specific moment in time right now. This is how I see it. So this could be fake, this could be true, but it has all means to be true, you know, because it is true. Drake is a brand. Brands don't play about this fucking shit. Brands don't play about, you know what I mean, people that got their money in and how they are perceived in the public eye. But when it comes to the music, you know, Drake still has an upper hand because Kendrick still has yet to deny his allegations in multiple ways. I feel like the story just keeps coming out there even more and more. He moved out to New York to get away from the family because he was cheating, and now there could possibly be another family with, you know, the Dave Free guy. Maybe, possibly, you know, maybe he's just too mature to indulge it, you know, to acknowledge that lie from Drake, the manipulation from Drake, if that isn't true. Maybe they're leaving it to be speculated because it keeps people talking about the song and it's keeping them records flowing. And hey, there could be so many. Let me run out and check on my dog. Now we're gonna talk about this. The Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef came about. To me, I feel like it came and went, you know, because I understand why we wouldn't get anything more going forward, being that there are shootings going on and people are over in London spray painting not like us on windows. The Kendrick fans are going crazy. The Drake community and Kendrick community are, you know, going at it in everybody's comments. The discourse is high. You know, I feel like there's no more words to be said. Just a bunch of allegations need to be debunked. And yeah, but the best thing that happened out of this entire beef is the fact that they let the streamers eat. When I was driving, so I forgot where I was going somewhere. And when I got that email stating that I was able to monetize off of the Kendrick Lamar situation, I was like, yo, what the hell? And I'm knowing this is about to go up. So I'm like, all right, like, that's like, I couldn't believe it. I thought I was being tricked. You know, I thought about it for like a day. I was like, yo, like, should I even turn this thing on? I'm knowing they're going to fucking monetize this shit and I'm going to get a strike for trying to, you know, get parts on this. I was a little hesitant. But then by the morning, you know, I saw everybody else making all these posts. I'm just like, yo, wow, like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? This is crazy. But what I don't like is that they're acting like it was only Kendrick Lamar. Drake did the same thing off the rip. Push-ups, I never got copyrighted off that video, ever. And tailor-made freestyle, I didn't want to monetize off that, and I got yellow marked anyway. The whole Tupac AI situation, like, but I was always monetizing off the Drake songs, even after they went up on streaming platforms. It never got copyrighted ever. And I was worried about that because I'm like, damn, like these are huge moments. I'm knowing the labels are not about to play about this. That was a good move. That was definitely a good move because the streamers played a huge part in what's going on in this beef. The second a song goes live, the streamers got their reactions out immediately. We're all getting hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands of views. You know what I'm saying? And that's pushing the narrative. That's pushing the agenda. The community is going to their favorite YouTuber to see who's winning the battle. So it makes sense. It gives the YouTubers and the community an incentive to, you know, thrive through this situation. And I really, really, really look forward to seeing a lot more moments like this in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? There are, like, for example, Future's dropping an album on Friday, right? It's just, no, not an album, just a mixtape, right? Let the community eat. Let the community eat. I'm telling you, I'm all for it. I'm even getting comments on my YouTube channel saying, yo, now that Kendrick Lamar, unblocked the copyright or whatever, they watching all the videos because they want to see us eat. Man, look, I waited for this moment for so long. For so long, I swear to God, because it never made sense to me how the community is so involved with the rappers. It kind of took them a minute to understand that, though. Like, we really have a voice in this, and it's like, it's hard for people to get behind a computer and actually do this because you don't really get much, off a copyrighted video on YouTube. But besides all that, I don't want to hold you guys for too long. I do think that this situation going on between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, it started off really good. It was really entertaining. It got really beneficial, but now I think it's coming down and crashing and burning. But we still need allegations debunked. If one of them wants to just double down, like if Kendrick Lamar were to double down right now on Drake at this very moment, it would most definitely put him at the top of what's going on right now. But for now, Drake wins the music side of things when it comes to just, facts and good music, dissing the other person and trolling. All of that accumulates, and Kendrick Lamar's strategicness and the way he mentally battled Drake, he definitely came out on top of that. And yeah. Prayers to the innocent people involved that are, harmed by these situations. Nobody deserves to be hurt. Let's keep this entertainment. Let's have fun. Let's let the streamers eat. Boy, God. Peace.